What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Make It Custom. In this video, just like the thumbnail says, from scratch, cardboard to completion, center console. I loved every second of it. It was a ton of fabrication. I was so thankful for JP, our customer, to ask me to do this because not a lot of people fully get custom. I'm sure that you know or have heard of people spending too much money not getting what it's, what their money's worth is. In this case, I'm pretty sure this Jimmy got the right console built for it. I had a ton of fun making it, and some cars are just worth it making them right. Resto mod Jimmys right now are like a $250,000 truck. So we built this body almost from scratch with all new panels. That's what you do when you can get them for stuff like this. And the console itself kind of sets it apart from all the other ones. There's a lot of Jimmys out there. There's a lot of K5s. There's a lot of the 67 to 72 Chev GM pickup trucks. And you got to do custom touches to make them really stand out. And I think this one kind of went on the mark. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. Let me know what you think about this console. Do you think it's worth it? Would you spend the money? Whatever. If you hate it, let me know. Hopefully you don't, because I really loved it. We incorporated like the AC vents into it. We incorporated cell phone charger, his shifter, his 4x4 shifter. I had to tweak all that kind of stuff. So there's a ton of custom work, ton of hours into this thing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video. It was an older video that we had put out before we were on YouTube, so we're kind of tweaking it to give you guys something to watch this week, as we've got a ton of other stuff going on in the shop. So thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for all the love. All the feedback we get, good, bad, right, or wrong, we love it all. So thank you very much, everybody. Don't forget to like, click subscribe, hit notifications. We're here twice a week. Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? It's Monday. I'm hopping back on the Jimmy for JP here, and I'm pretty stoked on what we're doing next. I'm gonna make a custom console, doing some manual CAD here today, cardboard assisted design. There's a few things that are gonna make this console cool. I'd like to try and incorporate the lid from his original console, just because it's nice. It's got that old feel. I don't know if it's gonna be cohesive with the design, but I'm gonna try and incorporate it. The other thing that we got is the world's most expensive cup holder. This is a cup holder that's in his newer Ford truck. I think it's like a 2018 or 2020 or something. And it's just really nice because it's got these little things here. They like push in and out and adjust to different cup sizes. Yeah, this is a really wicked cup holder, and we're gonna incorporate it in there. There's like nothing that he would rather have, so we're gonna make it happen. It's gonna be tricky, but try and get all the things that he wants in here. We've got the B&M shifter. We're gonna raise that up in height a little bit. It's gonna sit probably about there so that it's like nice and easy to grab at. There's a lot of consoles that have been done out there that personally I think are kind of ugly. I want to make this one kind of look like it's supposed to be here and work properly. So the other thing is that the seatbelts on this Jimmy, there's actually like a pocket in his old console for the seatbelt, because one of them is retractable and the other one is not, so that you can adjust your seatbelt to a certain size. So it's got these little pockets in here. He doesn't smoke, and we're gonna get rid of the ashtray. This console's a bit busted, so we're not using this console. We're gonna make a custom metal console that incorporates his, his shifter, his 4x4 shifter, and then I think cup holders here, and then another level for maybe a phone holder, and then these pockets so that he doesn't just drop his his seatbelt somewhere. And then I'd like to use this lid. It's got this little spring-loaded wheel closure. That's nice. Little chrome hinge at the back. It says GMC on it. It's just kind of, it'd be cool if this new console could look good enough with the old top that it all kind of made sense. So yeah, here we go. Well, after making a huge mess with cardboard, I think I've finally got somewhat of a design here. This may look simple, but it took forever to come up with this. The shape is nice and simple. The other thing that's kind of a challenge on this is there's a subwoofer down here that worked really well with this truck, but it's kind of wide, so the console isn't going to be that wide. So I'm going to have to notch out for it. I ended up actually shortening this sub box by a couple inches just so it fits better, and that wider part is going to be hidden by the seat. You can see on this side how it's sort of tucked back a little bit more. So yeah, this is the shape of the console. We're gonna use the original armrest slash flip top from his old console. It's gonna come down here, and in this area, this is falling. In this area, these cup holders will actually be kind of pocketed in there. I should have taped. Yeah, so cup holders will slip kind of right in there, halfway down, and then this side profile will continue to drop. We'll have this shifter moved over a little bit more. I'm going to space the shifters equally. This shifter is going to lift about 2.5 inches, and then finally at the front here, I'm going to get a better camera angle. So this kind of body line here is 13 inches wide. I'm going to make this console 11 inches wide, and then I'm actually going to bend this out to match. This is kind of tapered a little bit. This is going to taper a little bit. This sort of bead on the edge of the glove box, and this taper and this radius, I'm sort of picking up cues from all that with this console, with the radiuses and the tapers that are kind of made into this. The other thing I'm going to do is use 1/4 inch round bar for this edge, and then I'm going to drop with sheet metal until, like, so that the top of the console is actually lower than the edge of the console. Part of the reason for that is because of this line that's in the glove box. I want it to look like it's like it was made for this. It wasn't just a universal one that somebody chopped up to fit, you know. And it's all going to be metal and painted, so it's got to look good. That's where I'm at. It took too long to get there, but that's what it takes when you're kind of designing on the fly. Next is to do a 1/4 inch bar frame, and then start figuring out the panels for the sides. So fun stuff. Something I actually forgot to mention in that video that I just last made is that I'm abandoning the pockets for the seat belts being on top of the console. Like the old console had them right on top, and this console is now lifted higher than it would have been factory. Like it was kind of low before, so you could just kind of toss the belt in there. Now that it's sitting a little bit higher, more of like an armrest location, I just think it looked shitty to be getting out of your truck and have to like toss your seat belt over the console in a really visible spot, like over the edge of the console, and it's all going to be painted and it's going to get scuffed, and I just kind of forethought, I don't think that's a good idea. So I think it's going to be a lot cleaner too, with the top just being a lid and then cup holders and then shifters and whatever. Less is more. So what I'm going to do to solve the problem of the seat belts is make a little pocket in the side of the console, just above the height of the actual seat. I'm gonna do just a nice flush little pocket that's cut in there with maybe a nice ring around the outside that looks nice. Like, I mean, it's kind of a rectangle hole in something, so it's not gonna look amazing, but it'll be really functional, and then that way that seat belt doesn't have to drip over the top, whatever. Doesn't have to lay over the top of this console and kind of mess up the look every time you get out of it. So that's the plan. Okay, we got the console wireframe all finished up. I shouldn't say all finished up, it's like basically kind of mocked out here. One thing I want to point out, if you're going to do a wireframe, if you're using 1/4 inch or thinner, whatever you're doing, if you're doing a wireframe, it's really important to make sure that the wire is relaxed after you bend it. Like when you're about to tack it, you shouldn't have to push on it or, you know, manipulate it in any way to get a tack on it. There shouldn't be any tension in the wire, especially if you're trying to do like a slow curve or anything like that. So the way that I did these to make sure that they were both the same is that I bent them both at the same time. I welded little spots to pull the wire around for each bend, and made sure that it could sit there relaxed without having to push on it so that I could weld it. Let me grab this wire. I'm just going to show it to you in the truck. It's kind of a bit of a mess to get it in there. Okay. Yeah. Hopefully you can kind of see what the idea is here. There's a slight curve on this. The actual lid of his old console is going to fit on there. It kind of drops down. Right in this area is the I don't know where the cup holder is going to actually sit, kind of recessed in here. I don't know if you can really get a good look at that. There, that's better. So cup holder will be recessed in there. You won't see any of this plastic. There's just going to be the cutout for the actual cups. And then as it kind of waterfalls down, the shifter is going to be, I'm going to bend it and move it over so it's a little bit better spot. His shifter is going to be kind of centered in there and raised up a little bit. And then I've bent these bars out to match up with these kind of body lines. I think it's just a nice shape. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on right now, but hopefully you get the idea. It's kind of notched out over this. I'm going to build a little bit of sheet metal to cover this, but that's, now you can see why I shortened up his box. His box used to come out to here for the subwoofer, and I shortened it back because there's this hump here. Now it sits nice and flat, it's nice and tight. It's actually meant to sit just like that. And yeah. So next up, I'm shaping up the piece that's going to fill in the top and have the hinge for his lid on it. Now I've already done a little bit of that. I might as well show it to you. So this piece here, it's got that slight curve on it. It kind of fits in just like that. All right, end of day 2 on the console build. This is what I got happening. I got the sides put on it. Kind of figured out where the cup holders are gonna go. They're gonna get sunk right in there. I'm gonna make a little waterfall down here, and then kind of sort of like round this out a little bit for where the drinks are gonna be sort of coked in there. The rest of this is gonna be flat, sunken down the same amount as this down here. The shifter, you've probably seen these before, the B&M, the classic B&M piece. That's gonna sit right there, kind of poking up a little bit. And yeah, the lid's on top. I think it's gonna look sweet. I got a lot of work to go, but it's gonna look awesome. So there's the end of day 2 and part 1 of the 2-part console build. Everybody have a good one. What's up, everybody? Welcome to part 2 of this custom console build for the 1971 Jimmy. Console's actually been a little bit of a challenge because of all the things that got to be incorporated into it. We're adding a couple extra features as well. There's going to be a pocket up front that he'll be able to put his cell phone in, and it'll have like I guess maybe a USB port right at the back, just something so that he could charge his phone and not see all the wires hanging all over the place, you know. The other thing is this cup holder. Basically, like, because it's sunken into a newer truck, it's an ugly cup holder, the way that it's made, so all that's going to be hidden within this console. So what I did first is I CNC cut just a nice oval shape that will only allow you to see just the actual cup holder itself, so that, you know, everything gets painted and it's all metal with the rest of the console. So, today what I'm going to work on is getting the lid to fit. I want the lid to fit with the hinge, like the factory hinge, the little string that holds the lid from falling over. I want all that stuff to be factory from the old console since we're using that part. And I want that latch, the little roller ball latch that closes it nice. I want that to be the same, so I'm gonna create a way that this console uses all that hardware. And so right now that I've got, you can see, I've got that little piece in here for the cup holder. I know where that's gonna go. So I'm gonna work on this area of sheet metal right now. My plan is to kind of cove this out a little bit of like half of an oval, and then sheet metal fill this area so that the console kind of like flows into the cup holder. Right here is where that clasp is gonna be, the little closure. So I'm gonna end up cutting this out so that we've got the hole so we can access the cup holder. The lid has something to open into, and then the hinge itself will bolt onto here. There's 3 holes for the hinges there. I'm just gonna cut this piece of metal out and bend it down, and I'll be able to screw that hinge on there. And then our lid will actually fit. So yeah, here we go. Part 2, stay with me. All right, so I'm gonna show you the console. We got a little bit of work done here. Got the kind of cup holder area all figured out. So this is what I've been working on. This has the nice clasp here. It's like a little spring-loaded roller that catches on this lid. So that's stock, we put that in. And then I kind of made this area nice and sexy. It's got a little bit of form, a little bit of shape to it. Here's the cup holder. I want to make the cup holder removable so that you can clean it. Like, you spill coffee in there or something, it's probably something you want to clean. But I'm gonna slide this in, just like that. Oops. Camera's going wonky. Camera. Holy crap, man. Figure yourself out. Okay, we got the camera back. I think I shut it off by accident. But I made these little rails in there that this cup holder slides into. Now, there it is. Fancy cup holder. Doesn't look out of place because, you know, everything's metal around it. This is plastic, but so is the lid. But yeah, I don't mind it at all. So the next stop on our tour of console building, I repositioned this transfer case shifter. I just kind of bent it into a little bit better location, put this new tunnel on, and made a new hole for that shifter. Now I made a bracket to raise up our B&M shifter, and now they're in like a nice spot. They're in a really nice spot. That's where they're gonna stay. This is gonna be nicely centered in there. That's all chrome. And the next part for me is going to be mounting this console so that when I mount the shifter, this console and the shifter are locked in and I could build this top piece without having any play in anything. So what I'm gonna do is, if you can see, there's this bar here, which is just 1/4-inch round bar. I'm gonna make a hook so that this console hooks in and then takes a couple bolts to the back side of it. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Something simple, easy, but something that you don't need to get in there for a bunch of hardware. So I'm gonna make a hook on the plasma and hook the console in. Like it'll go right into like a hook like this, and that'll lock the front of it, bolt the back of it, and we'll just keep going. One thing sort of leads to another. We build it as we go, we design it as we go, and you know, you don't have to figure out absolutely everything right in the beginning. You know, I kind of like that one thing leads to another. It kind of gives you a better idea of the best way to do something. You know, when you've got more information, by building more pieces, you can make better decisions. So I always kind of build it as I go rather than try and figure it all out in the beginning. So here we go. Here's where the console sits right now. I got this little trim piece made up here. I'm gonna give it a little bit of shape and probably polish that. This panel is gonna be satin black. I've got it kind of going into a little space here where I plan to put like one of those stickies that like an anti-slip for your cell phone, and I was gonna put like a USB charger back here. Now I'm kind of second guessing my decision to make this, you know, part of this plane here, and I kind of wish that that I had brought the steel. This is the steel under here, instead of going straight underneath. If I came all the way up and then actually cut out a pocket inside here, if you can imagine that, so that just like the rear, this aluminum piece would come down and then come up to meet underneath the dash, so that this would be the same on both sides. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna sort of end up remaking this aluminum piece and cut this steel piece off, make the steel come all the way up, and then cut a hole in the actual steel piece here, and it'll be more of a cell phone pocket rather than you know, putting your cell phone right on the same plane as this. I think it'll just be a more cohesive design, like so that this mimics the same deal at the front. I just think it's gonna look better, so I better start on that now. All right, what'd you guys think of that? I mean, that was a lot of work. There's no doubt about that. I did the best job I could, and I loved every minute of it. It's not every day when somebody wants you to build a console that is that involved, and I was more than happy to do it. That was a challenge for me. It really pushed my fabrication skills, and I loved it. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the video and what you thought about the console. If you liked the design or if you didn't, I want to know. Everybody, appreciate you guys watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit notifications, tell your friends we're here twice a week. Make It Kustom is our life now. We love this, the whole YouTube community, so everybody have a great one, and we'll keep making videos. Catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.